Today we're going to play with copper sheet metal. The important thing, first of all, is not to cut yourself on the sharp edges of this copper sheet metal. Oh. Oh man, 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 oh man. Oh. I hate when you open these things too quickly. I'm going to have to get more from Taco Bell. Secondly, make sure that you have the right tools for this. This is called a Euro tool because Europe wants to be in charge of everything. And these are very, very sharp, high-end shears made for cutting sheet metal. And this is a Euro punch, which was developed by European boxers for knocking out their opponents. Euro punch! So anyway, this will cut it, and this will punch holes. I think. I don't know. Somebody sent these to me, so hopefully this is true. Now there's this backing to this. I think it's just to keep the pieces from scratching each other because it's not adhesive on that side. Or maybe you're supposed to cut it while this is still on. Like if I learned these things first, and I could teach you. But I have no idea. I'm gonna try it. I'll leave it on just to cut it. We'll see. So I'm gonna say, let's start cutting. Ooh, it feels good. It's a nice feeling. It's smooth. It's not super easy, but it's not super hard either. It's comparable to cutting thick leather with heavy-duty scissors. And the turns are not as simple as I thought, so I'm trying to... The outer turn was pretty easy. Coming in, this inner turn is fighting me a bit, so I'm going to try to bend it. And I'm not making that turn, so I'm just going to come back and do the other one. And let's see, now we'll do this one. That inner turn is working better. Maybe I'm just getting more powerful. This happens when you work with copper. Nope. Now this turn is not working. Oh yeah, that's the actual inner turn. Ah, I knew that. Okay, so we'll go back to that one and okay. Careful not to cut myself. Maybe some pliers will help. So we want this out of the way, and we want this to come up like this. It doesn't want to. Oh, that cut wasn't totally done. All right, well, I don't even know what I'm doing. Let's just cut this right here. Hope for the best. Good. All right, we got it. And now do we peel off the backing? Or should we have done it already? I don't know why. Maybe that backing really was there just to keep them from scratching each other when they're piled up. I really don't know. This bright copper is so cool. I'm going to... Oh, man, I can see myself. I forget how good I look, and then I see myself, and I'm like, oh, you're amazing. It's this wonderful feeling. I'm gonna just look at this for a while and just I caught my reflection in there. It's kind of getting me happy. So anyway, so this is already wavy and floppy. Let's get it straight again. And I thought I wanted it wavy and floppy, but I'm gonna get better at making these curves. So for now, I'm just gonna cut some straight pieces and just see how that goes. Let's come back to here. Let's not start a new one. We don't want to be wasteful. So we'll go cutting about a 1/2 inch, and we'll just keep cutting down. And ooh, that is definitely takes a little bit of finger muscle. My fingers have been jacked ever since I've been doing that finger boxing championship. So this is about 3 inches, maybe, something like that. And we're going to cut it across. Let's cut across the whole thing. Dun, 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 dun. Now these last two I'm going to cut across, not in the middle, but a little bit skewed from the middle, because that'll give me 2 more sizes. So I'll do that one, and I'll take this one, kind of do the same by kind of measuring it off of that one. All right, so now we have, again, be careful not to cut yourself. Now we have these sizes here. And I think we could even do one, yeah, we could cut this one into exactly half. And wait a minute, no, that wouldn't work. We could cut it down like this, and then cut it in half. Nope, gotta cut it a little more. I'm gonna save these little squares, they could become something. Now we'll cut it in half, okay. All right, so now we have 4 sizes, and these are a little bit longer. All the rest of these are they're kind of graduated in similar fashion, but that one doesn't match. Oh, I'm getting really good at this. Okay, there we go. Those all match. And so these are a little too big. Let's cut them down a little bit so they can match the progression a little more. Ooh, we're getting more of these little squares out of this. Just these ones are a little rectangle. All right, that's a little better. We should cut the full square out. Let's see. Yeah, not bad, it's close. All right, I'm gonna peel this off the back. I probably should have done it in the first place. I don't even know. People who know what they're doing are screaming at the screen right now, like, "What are you doing? Oh my gosh, you don't know what you're doing." And I'm like, you know what? I can't hear you. I can't hear you screaming. You can put it in a comment in all caps and see if that'll bother me, but it won't, because I can scroll right past your comment, and that will make you madder. And I will say, I don't care, because I'm gonna play with my copper. I'm gonna play with it all day long, and I'm gonna enjoy every second of playing with my copper, because they're my copper pieces, and they're not yours, and no one gave you any copper pieces, because they don't like you as much, and that's why you're so sad you have to leave big nasty comments in all capital letters. All right, let's try our Euro punch. Get it really close to the top so you can get a medium-sized jump ring in there, but not all the way to the top, or you're gonna like actually make it a weak joint. Boom! That was a fun punch. Punch that little tiny thing. You see that tiny little dot? That was the copper that punched it out. Now, I forgot to say the important part, which is when you do this, you gotta say Euro punch. So much fun. Okay, now it's important to get some sandpaper and sand these sharp edges so they don't kill anybody. Now you can round the corners a little bit so you don't have to do as much sanding, but you want to get this, ooh, I almost started spurting hot sauce again. Now you can do this with sandpaper, or you can get what's called a sanding block or sanding sponge, and that's easier to hold, and you can get those at the dollar store too, or other places. You can get all the different types. Dremel tools have really come down in price, and I suggest any crafter should have one for so many different projects that you can use them for. This is the simple sanding wheel pad, whatever. This one's battery powered, you don't even need a cord, and they used to be like 50, 60 bucks. Now you can get like a low end one for like 20, 25, 30. But yeah, you can use that for the sanding. Or you can actually go all the way and get a belt sander. You can get a small belt sander for like 40, 50 bucks. But again, cutting these corners round will save you a lot of time in the sanding process. You don't have to make it totally round. You can still keep your square shape. Just round the little corners off in it. That actually is like butter for these shear thingies. There we go. It's like pop-up mama, firstborn, and the baby. Or two pop-ups, two mom-moms. Anyway, so, ow. Make sure these tiny little shards that you popped out and the parts you little cut off, that you don't get them mixed up in your garlic powder, because then when you go to spice your ravioli, you're going to have a nasty surprise, and you're going to be like, oh, that's not hot sauce that's coming out of my mouth. Anyway, so we've all been there, maybe. What's the next step? Let's, oh yeah, we got to sand these. Let me get them sanded real quick. Whew, sanding them took forever, and I was using a belt sander, so I ended up putting on an actual specialized mask, the kind that has the filter and everything, and goggles and hearing protection. And I was going to wear gloves, but then you got to test it every now and then to see if you really got the sharpness out. You don't want to test it like this. You never test a knife or anything sharp by running across the blade like that. You always test it by going like that. That way you get a feel for the sharpness, but you're not actually slicing your finger open just trying to attempt it. But once it feels pretty dull, then you can try to say, is that going to slice me? But you really don't skimp on this part. You want the whole thing smooth all the way around. It might take you a long time. And the other thing, if you're going to use power tools like this or the belt sander, copper's a great conductor. And I don't mean like of an orchestra, like Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. No, I mean like it conducts electricity and heat very quickly. So as you're sanding one little tip and holding it with your bare hands, the heat flows down, and before you know it, burns you really bad. It burns you, and not like a friend burns you when they leave you for when they betray you, but like a copper burn, or when copper betrays you. It's kind of the same. So these guys are good, but it took me a while. And if you have bare sandpaper, you might have more control, but it might take you a long time too. So I would say put on a good movie. I recommend a tearjerker, because then you'll really put your love and passion into the sanding. And now we're ready for the next part, which is, I think I wanted to do like a rigatoni type, like pasta swirl. Let's see, I think I need more pliers. I've never done this before. I just imagined it in my brain, which is pretty much how everything goes. So let's see if this works. I imagined it being all twisty and wild, and so far it's like just making one half twist is quite a bit of effort, and this is my longest piece. The shorter ones are going to be way harder. I want to make it even. I don't want it to just fold. I want to make a nice, curvy, even twist with my copper plating. See, that's kind of more of it's like a sharp bend and not a nice even swerve. So at this point I'm going to say we're not going to get beautiful perfection. We're just going to have to go with a little bit nutty, weird, and bizarre. So that's fine with me, as long as I know what I'm dealing with. So, oh, there we go. This is kind of, oh, that's how we get our curve. We go a little bit at a time like that, and just kind of, so you go like this, you bend it the way you want, you move down a millimeter, you move down a couple millimeters, and you keep going like that. Okay, now we're getting, okay, so that's coming around. So I'm going to do spiral. Okay, so I'm just going to keep moving him around. And this is a good time to know for sure if you sanded well, because otherwise these little guys are going to come up, pop up, and start scratching you and slicing you open, and you're going to bleed like a packet of hot sauce. I'm just telling you. I mean, don't be afraid. Just have some first aid on hand, and make sure you mark down an emergency contact number. Ooh, I like this. All right, that's a nice spiral. It's coming around. It's coming around. Okay. What's that song I was here? Listen to this song. It said, I know nothing stays the same, but if you're willing to play the game, they'll be coming around with copper. Oh, I'm still hoarse. I'll attempt that later. That's a nice spirally spiral. So I was going to have a whole bunch of these hang down and like all kinds of wild craziness. But this is so much work for just this one part. I think I'm just going to end it right here. And this is going to be my, this will be my one earring. Just make this one kind of match. So now I've made myself 4 pairs of earrings, essentially. I mean, these guys don't even have to spiral because obviously they're really difficult and they don't like spiraling. So let's do something different with each of these. This one I'm getting a lot more even because I just started here and just started moving down on a diagonal like this because now I know what I'm doing. I mean, kind of. Do we ever know what we're doing? Of course we do, unless you're me. And you just do things and things happen. And you're like, oh, so that's what happens. See, I'm not even sure how I did the first one now. So I'm not even sure if this is... It's just going to turn into a cylinder. It's going to close itself up and turn into a cylinder. That'll be cool. Now that I'm thinking about it, this would have been a lot easier to just wrap it around to like a fat paintbrush handle instead of going through all this trouble if I really just wanted it to do this. Well, now what is going on there? This guy is... Oh, let's make this guy match. But this guy looks cooler. This guy's all like introverted. That's extroverted. Let's can we stretch him out a little bit? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yes. He's becoming the life of the party too, like his brother. There you go. You didn't have to hide in there. You didn't have to hide in your shell. You can come out and party too. Oh man. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Now, okay. That's cool. This one's still kind of cooler. Was you were always the cooler one. I can't help it, man. I'm just chill. I just do me. I just do what I do. I don't like it. Why is life so complicated for me? Why am I always so full of anxiety? Man, you just gotta chill. You just gotta roll with it. Just roll like this. Roll like me. Roll like me. See how I'm rolling? I can roll too, but I don't like it. I want to be cool like you. Yeah, he's really cool. He's the cool one. I want to be like him. Everyone wants to be like him. Come on, guys. Let's go follow him. See, everybody thinks you're cool. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I just do me. I just be me. I don't worry about nothing. Hey, he's cool. He doesn't worry about nothing. Let's be like him. I want to be like him. Man, I can't take this. I'm going to go play some video games. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do first? I don't know, man. Whatever you feel like doing, just be you. Man, he's so cool. He's just so cool. He's like the coolest, man. I want to be like him. I'm more like him. I'm more like him. Oh, yeah? No, you're not like him. I'm like him. It's a nice day. I got them close enough. Let's see. Now you always want to make sure you have jump rings and earring hooks and chain and everything that matches the same color metal you're using. So I have this bright copper jump rings and hooks, but these are sealed, meaning they're sealed in like a clear coat. They're going to stay shiny forever. I believe this plate is not sealed, so before we attach everything, we want to seal it first. Rust-Oleum apparently adheres to metal, and it's a clear coat, so we'll give that a couple coats of spray and then let it dry for however long the bottle says, which is whatever it says. We'll just ignore it probably. But before we do that, let's play with some of the others. See what other fun things we can do besides that very difficult swirl that would have been easier with a paintbrush handle. I'm gonna take this guy and just do like wild bends diagonally, like back and forth like that, except that one wasn't. Okay, so see that? That looks super bizarre. And that one looks even worse. So as we play with these guys, we really learn how to make things look horrible and ugly. And I mean, that was kind of my goal from the beginning, so I feel like I'm achieving it. These last two sets we're going to texture. Now, we could have textured the others before and still done the same pattern afterwards, but we didn't, so now we're going to do these, okay? Okay. It's time for the baby anvil. 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 Watch that baby anvil shake its stuff. Baby anvil's life of the dance party. It's time for the baby anvil. Yeah, it's time for the baby anvil. Oh yeah, it's time for the baby anvil. That's me. Time for the baby anvil. All right, let's put this on here. Let's get some wood underneath it. Put it on the hardwood floor. We could put it on our lap. Look at that pretty. That's copper on silver. Looks nice with the wood. This is an art project right here. I shall sell this baby anvil on wood with copper. $25,000 to the first bidder. Slip some leather under there. Good. And we could put it on the floor. You could put it on your lap. You get a better angle if you put it on your lap. That's right there. And you can just hit it. And it's not going to hurt your legs. But you can also put it on the ground. Then you have to hunch over and get in a crazy position that is only athletically comfortable when you're like 9 or 10, not when you're an adult that shouldn't be climbing down on the floor like that and throwing your shoulder and back out. Anyway, we're all super in shape here, so we don't need to worry about that. So I have no idea how to texture this, but I'm going to give it some shots like edge of the hammer at different angles. I'm liking this. Yeah. Oops. Do the other side too. I don't know if that will show through. I don't really care. I just like beating on this copper here because it makes me feel better about all those times in my life when I didn't do what I needed to do and people were like, you didn't do what you needed to do. You're not responsible. I'm like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? You call me not responsible? Watch me beat on this copper. Now I don't care what you said. You could also use the sharp part of the hammer. Let's see what we do with that, what that does. Ooh, I like that. Gives like a sharper line. Let's see if we just hammer it straight. It does a little bit. Let's get some nails and screws and pound it in there. Now this screw here offers us a lot of options. We can go just the point. Ooh, I like that. It's making little dots. Well, what did you expect it to make? Cool, I like it, I like it. Or we can do, you don't want to go all the way through and make a hole. You can do the side here like this. Let's see what that does. Okay, that's up making more lines once again. Slightly smaller in length than that other part of the hammer did. Remember, you want to vary it. You want to move it all over the place. And then you can also do, let's see, you can roll it like this. You can do the side like that, not roll it, but you can hit this. Let's see what that does. I'm not sure what that does. Now I have so many marks all over it, I can't tell what's what. But anyway, you get the idea. This piece of copper is nice and beat up now. Funky cool. You still got the song stuck in your head, don't you? It's time for the baby anvil. It's time for the baby anvil. It's time for the baby anvil. That's me. It's time for the baby anvil. Oh yeah, time for the baby anvil. Watch me spin. Whoa. Yeah. And you want it to be flat, kind of, I guess. So as you're hammering it, it might curl up or whatever. So get it back to flat. You can kind of get some of your pliers and try to get it back to flat, whatever. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go. But once we're done with all of these, then we're going to seal them. And that's going to be fun.